Hello, it's Wogawell and I'm back with another video on MTGA. This time, it's a Decktech, and quite an interesting one, seeing as we've got so many of these Nexus of Fate, Wilderness Reclamation decks all over the place. This is a different take without any Wilderness Reclamations, but still uses Nexus of Fate, of course. Now, one of my favorite cards in the new set is Hydroid Krasis, and this deck is primarily focused around getting him as big as possible and sneaking in a Banefire. Now, you need to see this deck in action and see. Hopefully, I get some good games to really show off what makes the deck good. But the deck goes as 4 Land and War Elves, 2 Banefires, which are the only red cards in the whole deck, 2 Search for Escantas, 4 Growth Spirals, 4 Hydroid Krasis, 2 Rangers, 4 Gifts of Paradise, 2 Growth from the Ashes, 4 Frill Mystic, an interesting card, Tadiova. I think she's very underused. In this deck, you can basically start a chain reaction. River's Rebuke, fantastic. It's better than any board wipe. When you've got multiple turns, you just basically clear their board and you're free to smash them in. And Puleke Worm, Pulaka Worm, Pelaka Worm, whatever you want to call it, is basically once you get it down, because on turn 5, realistically, you want to be on 7 mana. So you either have Pelaka Worm to play or you have a Nexus of Fate to play ideally by turn 7. And against red deck wins or anything that involves damage to the face, Pelaka Worm basically puts either a temporary halt or completely stops them from dealing that damage to you. It's better than Root Snare, to be honest, but the deck allows for that to happen. And then obviously you got 4 Nexus of Fate, which isn't the win con per se, but it does help. It can cause you to win the games because basically you've got the Pelaka Worm already down. Nexus of Fate comes in, boom, you get to slam in for 14. Frill Mystic I just love as a counter because she's a body on the board as well. And then the land base is 7 islands, 1 mountain, for obvious reasons. You don't necessarily need that mountain because you've got Gift of Paradise, which helps you to get Banefire. 8 forests, 2 breeding pools, and 4 Hilton Harbors. I don't really like breeding pool per se because I don't really like the shock lands. That's just my opinion. I prefer these lands in this deck. But we're going to do a few games, and I'm going to show you how it performs. It's definitely my favorite deck so far. I do have, unfortunately, a Wilderness Reclamation deck, but it's it's not one I like using very much. I don't really like the meta at the moment in terms of games you play. It's either red deck wins or reclamation, or I just like control games. But we'll see how this fares, and hopefully you guys learn a thing or two. You enjoyed the video, and if you do, make sure you like and subscribe for future deck techs. I've got some more drafts to be put up, some terrible, some quite good, and hopefully you enjoy this. So we're going to jump into a ranked game here. Ranked is basically the best way to really show a deck off. I think with the constructed event, it's a good way of getting gold and stuff, but not necessarily good at showing a deck off because the variance of decks in there is unbelievable. I think ranked does show a good sort of metagame strats and stuff. So here is kind of bad because we haven't got any way of playing Search for Escantas. So we're going to mulligan. We need an island. So this is much better. We get to scribe 1 and we've got some plays. So Hydroid Krasis is too early for you right now, my friend. We're going to enter that tap. That's fine. And our goal here is to obviously get Tatiova, but we want to get to 5 lands so we can grow from the ashes, jump to 7, and Pelaka Worm on 7. We haven't got much in the way of usefulness at the moment, but we'll see what happens going forward. I don't like that I'm silver rank. It's really annoying. The rank reset has pushed me quite far back. So we're against black here. Not the draw we were looking for, but that's fine. We'll take it. If we get 3 lands, we probably, I normally don't do this, but we probably will use Grow from the Ashes just to get that other land to try and get Frill Mystic, get some value down, and then wait for 5 with Tatiova. There's other ways of getting lands on the board, but we'll see what happens. Opponent is playing slow black. Let's see if there's any other colors. So it's black, white. That's fine. Okay, so we got the 3rd land. We're going to Grow from the Ashes here, just so we have some value for the Frill Mystic. And I believe we need to get a forest, don't we? We need to get either. So we'll take the forest. And now we can play Frill Mystic next turn and counter something. Because in black, white, 3 mana is not too bad. 4 is where you start getting hurt. Depends on what way they play. Because if they play something like, what is it, Ill-Gotten Inheritance, then you're in trouble. I mean, Hydroid Krasis here for a draw is fine. We'll take it. So you don't necessarily need to wait it out. So we got the 5th land here, which is really nice. We can get Tatiova down next turn. But the way you play Hydrate Krasis is in any situation when you get him where you can get value in terms of that one draw. I mean, it's a card for a card, and it just took a Mortify. So we got a replacement effect. Put enough pressure that a Mortify was necessary, which is really, really good. So they're stuck on 3 lands here. And we got a Gift of Paradise, which maybe isn't what we wanted. And I'm not going to play Tatiova just yet, because if she gets killed, we lose her value. We're going to hold off, I think, and Frill Mystic something on their turn. Because even if they skip, we're not in a bad spot. We're way ahead. But like I said, here we go. The fourth land is always the one that gives you the trouble. So we're going to take out this Tide. Haven't seen a deck that uses that yet, so that's interesting. Banefire's fine. But we're going to get the Gift of Paradise down now. And we're going to swing in for 3. And you can see now we actually have the mana to play Banefire. I use Banefire over what is the one, the red-blue multi-draw card, because okay, Cry the Carnarium, that's fine, because the damage it sustains is Fountain Renewal is a bit annoying, but we're okay with it. Yeah, we're gonna play Tati over here. See if we can soak up another removal spell, because we've got Palaka Worm that can deal with anything else. If we get another land, that is. If she survives, then we're in Value Town if we draw a land. If we don't, we're in trouble. She's going to die, I think. So we're soaking up a lot of removal here, which is okay, because our deck isn't primarily focused on creatures anyway. Our deck is primarily focused on getting enough mana that a Banefire kills in one hit. But also Nexus of Fate becomes basically a multi-combat step sort of card. Because if we keep rolling into Nexus of Fate, there we go, Vrask's Attempt. We don't mind that she's exiled either, because we don't have any way of getting her back anyway. Krasis is fantastic here. Play it for 4. And we get 2 cards, which one's a land. That's perfect. So Palaka Worm comes down next turn. So you can see how this is rolling at the moment. Whether or not we win is a different story, but we are rolling with the punches here. We got 2 Banefires, which is fantastic. And I prefer the fact that Banefire can't be countered than the... Is it Expansion Explosion? Yeah, Expansion Explosion is the other card. I do prefer that Banefire is just not countered and you win. And the thing is, with a board full of blue-green, people assume you're either playing Wilderness Reclamation as well as with the Gift of Paradise. They think that you're playing Wilderness Reclamation, but really you're not. You're playing a Banefire Ninja Star that'll kill them later on in the game. And if we do get Nexus of Fate here or anything else, we're in a good spot. They're not putting much pressure in terms of life totals here, which is okay. Mastermind's Acquisition, that's interesting, because this could literally be anything at all. And we're about to find out anyway. So we got another land. And we're going to swing in with Hydroid. There's nothing I can do anyway. And then Palaka Worm down. If they decide to remove all, which I think that's probably what he got. What is it that kill all in black-white? Yava's, whatever you call it. I think that's probably what they got. Yeah, Kaya's Wrath, that's it. And we get to draw a card, so we're okay with that. We're not too unhappy about that. We get Nexus of Fate and a land. So what we do here is we're actually going to take the Nexus of Fate and basically use it as an extra turnaround here. And continue to our extra turn, where we get Grow from the Ashes, which we're going to use here. 10 out of the deck even further. And as you can see, the opponent's still on 4 lands, hasn't put any pressure on us just yet. And we're in a position where 2 Banefires can win us the game. So we got 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10 damage. Down comes a Karn. I know you are. We'll give you the Godless Shrine. I don't care too much about that. If you're going to pay 2 life, that's even better. No, you're not. Another land, that's even much better. So we're going to win this Reclamation here, or River Rebuke here, bounce him back. Just mess him up a bit, force him to pay a bit more. And then we're going to start laying down the Banefires, because they won't be able to keep up with us. Potentially. Depends on what they play here. If they just replay what they already had, then we're okay. Acquisition, even better, so they don't get the... Unless they play their Fountain of Renewal. Yeah, that's fine. We're okay. So it depends on what we draw here. Is how our next turn is going to go. Growth Spiral's fine, but not what we're looking for. So if I Banefire for 1... So 1, 4, 9, 11. Okay, cool. So we're going to hit him with 11 here with the Banefire. Can't be countered. Bang. Puts them on a clock for one more turn. I can definitely deal them for 8, and they are 9. Um, we can hit them for 11 again. It depends on what they do here. Karen comes down. Karen searches out a card. What is it? We'll give him the Masterminds. And they discard a card. Nice. So this isn't normally how this deck wins. Normally it goes on for quite some time. You play a few Hydroid Krasis, but this is another way of winning. Again, like I said, they're not going to expect the Banefire, and there we go. Victory for us. Quite happy with that one. I think if they started snowballing, we'd be in trouble, but no, happy with that game. So let's jump back into a game here again and see what we're up against. Wow, nice wait time. Very nice wait time. I think I've been banned. Oh, ready to go. Opponent took 20 seconds, but that's okay. Let's see what our opening hand is here, and if we go first or second. Oh. It's one of these games where we've no cards. Excellent. All right, so this is a good hand because we've got Search for Ascanta to basically filter out for a forest, and then we can start rolling the dice. So a lot of this deck is about taking risks, unfortunately, as with most decks, but this does rely a lot on your draws following your opening hand in a strong way. So your opening hand is never going to be enough to win a game. You'll never really draw into enough unless you have Krasis in your opener with a number of lands and a number of ways of multiplying those lands. Then you're going to be in trouble otherwise. So we have to rely on this Ascanta or a forest draw between now and then. But Ascanta is fantastic at dealing with that. And to be honest, I don't really use Ascanta for the Sunken Ruin per se. It's more so just to find the cards you're looking for. So I'll happily take 2 Ascantas in my opening hand. So I have the Sunken Ruin plus a spare one. His opponent is really thinking about that 6-carder. And perhaps we don't have a game on our hands here. One thing I did notice the other day was you can actually click the gargoyle over here. Very strange. You could do it in the Christmas events. Oh. Does he fly? But you could do it in the Christmas event with the presents. The presents used to light up in different ways. And I think you can turn the lights on in some of these places. Hey, you've made your move. That's good. Excellent. Good for you. So you can move that, whatever that is. That's a Titan or something down there. Way, we've got a game. Excellent. Okay, so the forest is perfect. The forest is absolutely perfect, which we'll take. This could be red, white, something. Okay, red, white, green. Okay, so then we play Hinton Harbor, get the Ascanta down nice and early. Maybe bait out a something. But we can double growth spiral next turn, which is brilliant because that basically takes us almost all the way to the Palaka Worm. But we're going to be in a good spot. I mean, if we don't get another land from these 2 draws, then, you know, we have 3 draws to get another land to take the full benefit of growth spiral. We'll take that. Do you know what? We'll take that. I'm happy to risk that. So we'll go growth spiral into forest. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so now we're on 5 lands, they're on 3, and we were on the play, or we were on the draw. And we've got 2 cards in the graveyard, so we're in a really good spot here. We've got Nexus of Fate after I play Palaka. So once you play Palaka, you Nexus of Fate, and then you can Palaka twice. Attack for 14. I think he's very underused, to be honest. With these decks that take advantage of mass mana, Palaka Worm is fantastic because even when it lands, it's life. 7 life is so good on 1 card. It is relevant in the current meta. Before, I think when we were playing in the earlier sets, 7 life didn't really make much of a difference, but I think it does now. Very slow play. I've had this a lot today, actually. I had a guy when I was playing a red-white reinforcements deck, and every time I played a card, this guy was like letting the clock run down all the way, and then halfway through the game just conceded before the game even ended. And they were in a good spot as well. I think they would have beat me, but they just wasted so much time. I think people do things while they're playing this game too often. So, but let's see what happens. Okay, maybe opponent's falling asleep or something. Just give him a little friendly prod with a your goal. Come on. So I play a land, and they pass. So this is a gate deck, and it doesn't seem to be getting anything that it needs. So we're going to graveyard this because we want a land. We do want a land, which we don't get. But we're going to go with Jade Light Ranger here to try and find more lands. And potentially win the game. So we're going to yard that because we can't play it. Get the land we wanted. And potentially can kill them in 2 turns time if we get another land. Because if we play Palaka, Jade Light hits for 3, that's 17. Palaka again hits him again, that goes down to 14, and then 2 Palaka swings win the game. So let's see what happens. We also have the option of just full mysticking for a couple of turns if we want to really mess with their ideas. So playing Gates, which is fantastic. I love Gates. Hey. They might be YouTubing how to play the deck properly. That's what's taking them so long. Okay, and a skip. So we'll take that. And what we're going to do here, we're going to swing in with Jade Light. And we're going to pass. And we're going to keep full Mystic up. Just the ones. Because I think they're looking to play something that's high costed. Because they would have played something prior otherwise. They're getting life back. Fine. And at the worst case scenario, we Nexus of Fate at their end step. Which I'm okay with. So removal Lava Coil on my Jade Light. Do I care? No, I don't. Be nice to have that in the yard, but that's fine. Okay, so we Nexus. That's cool. So now we got 2 turns to mess them up, if you will. So we'll chuck that just to add to the onslaught. So we're going to play the Palaka Worm, get the 7 life back. End the turn. Now we get a swing with Palaka Worm. How many is in there? 5? Let's take it because we got the full Mystics. We can play 2 of them. So we got enough mana for 1, 2. Not enough for 2 full Mystics, do we? No. So we can swing in with a Palaka. Make sure it's safe. Take 7. Play a Llanowar. Just for win more. Because if the Llanowar survives, that's why I wish that was a forest. If that was a forest, we could play 2 full Mystics. But if the Llanowar survives, then we can do some damage. So Keeper Gargoyle gets countered. And I think that's game. I do think that's game because now we have them on lock. Yeah. Awesome. So that was good. I enjoyed that one. Very slow game, but ended quite quickly. Very nice. On to the next game. I don't think that's true though, is it? That tooltip, the 30 seconds, because it goes to 15 and then I think it's like 10 if you wait too long. Alright, this is an example of a really good hand. So if we can get to Llanowar to survive, of course. Yeah. If we can get the Llanowar to survive, then we're in a good spot because the Jade Light Rangers just help us get to Hydroid really quickly. So we play Island first in case we draw something that applies to that. If we get another land, it's Growth Spiral. If not, then we play Llanowar. Okay. We play Llanowar because we want Jade Light next turn. Opponent skips. So then we play Jade Light looking for a land specifically. Maybe 2. Yes, 2 is good. And we'll take that. Opponent is going to basic red-black, Woodland Cemetery, Trashing. Okay, that's fine. We've nothing that can be killed with that just yet. So if we go Forest, Growth Spiral, Island, Jade Light. See, that's good. Oh, another land and a Grow from the Ashes, which we'll keep because we have lands for the next 2 turns. And then I guess this is a cut and dry win for us, I believe, depending on what the next play is. Vraska, fine. I guess you try and sacrifice something. Wow, that's funny. Okay. You can't swing, of course, 'cause too risky. Okay, so now what we can do, play a forest and then grow from the ashes with the kicker for 2 islands. For 2 islands, and you'll see why in a minute. We don't want to play Krasis too soon. So if we no attacks, right? So whatever happens next turn, that Vraska is going to die. We're going to make sure of that. So you're going to attempt to sacrifice something. They're really thinking. They don't need to, because this is just going to end their thought process altogether. And it's not going to be a excellent play, Crafter. Bye bye. Boom. We don't want to sacrifice one of our things. Why would we do that? What are you going to sack? One of your tap lands? Or nothing? Ooh, nothing. So, now what we're going to do is play the breeding pool. Does this require that? No, breeding pool. Tapped. And then what we're going to do next is swing. In fact, do we swing with everything and potentially get the kill on Vraska? Yeah, let's do that. Because Vraska can take down Hydroid Krasis. Doesn't matter what his blocking process is here, he loses the Vraska regardless. And then we can Krasis for 6. Draw 3 cards. Great, Banefire is nice as well. We can bait out a kill spell here. If not, I think that's GG for us because we get to find Broker. I think that's game, if I'm honest. Because what we can do next turn, we can do some shenanigans. Citrus Supplier even better. So this is where it all comes together, I think. I don't know what they're going to do. But if we play Hinterland Harbor, swing with Hydroid, hit them in the face, play Growth Spiral, I guess. Do we have 7 mana? We do. Growth Spiral, we want that red mana. Gift of Paradise gives us that red mana. We can play it. So we're going to play Gift of Paradise on that forest. Nexus of Fate. I get another turn. On tap, play island, swing with Krasis, and then the Ninja Banefire for 8 to the dome. And then we win. Boom. And they don't even expect it. It's just like, oh, you play red? Whoops. That's me dead. Good stuff. And that was quite a fast game as well. I think winning fast is, to be honest, since recording, it's not been high on my list, I guess. It's usually long, drawn-out games, so this is surprising. But that's how Nexus of Fate comes into play with the Hydroid, because you get to swing in twice, and as well as with Palaka Worm, it basically cuts in and ends the game as well. So you get to do multiple hits and then throw in a Banefire that ends them as well. So they don't expect it. They usually play quite aggressively early on and don't build up their resources. They just play creatures, because you're not playing much but building your board, and then you just slam them in with the Banefire at the end. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Last game. I have been playing other decks on the side as well. My rank's gone way down. I've been testing this other idea that I've had, which didn't work out very well. But back to this again. Okay, so if I go first with this is quite good. Not ideal, but next turn we get to play Gift of Paradise if this isn't mono red and we get blown out completely. Red land? Red land? No, tapped. Okay, so we get Gift of Paradise down. Boom. Gift of Paradise, and then Full Mystic is enabled. So we can play the counter game for the next 2 turns. Wargroat Walker? Nothing. Okay. Banefire. Do we have the capabilities of doing this? No, because we need 2 blue. Which we have. Okay, that's fine. Cool. And then we end our turn. Double Full Mystic on the opponent here is the plan. Cool. Bye bye. Awesome. And we can swing in for 5 this turn. Cool. Another Full Mystic on the play, and then we've got Banefire right now at I think 7, but we can get higher. So is it going to be our good friend Vraska here? No, it's not. Not even. Road Spiral's fantastic, because if they don't play anything, we can Full Mystic. And if they do, then we can... Okay, so what do you do? What's your plan? Try and kill my Full Mystic with Cast Down. I'm going to counter that with my Full Mystic. And I think we're going to get blown out by a big removal spell next turn. But we're in a good spot with Growth Spiral and Banefire to hit them for 10 in the near future. Bye-bye. If they do blow us out, then we know that that's their turn done. And then we can start to rebuild. Just please use a removal spell that... Ooh, Krasis. For 3? Nice, okay. Even better for us, so we can swing in with the 2 Full Mystics. Maybe bait out one of the Krasis here. Yes, we do. And I think that's GG next turn, regardless of what happens. Oh, Carnage Tyrant is a bit of a pain in the ass. Right. Nexus. Awesome. Going to Full Mystic here as well. Can't counter it anyway. But I can't counter it anyway, so... And what we can do is... Next Suisse. Probably win more, to be honest, but we're going to do it anyway. Swing in. Cool. And then the Ninja Star Banefire to the Dome for 5 next turn. We win. Excellent stuff. 1 for good luck. Boom. There we go. So that was another way of winning the game. So we play a much more reserved... Oh, I ranked up. Back to the rank I was prior to me trying out that stupid deck. But yeah, so we have another method of winning by doing that. So that was a good few games, good few demonstrations of how Krasis of Fate works. There's been some ideas, but I think doesn't include Tadiova, which you didn't get to see in all her glory. But trust me, when she's on the board and you can start drawing loads of lands and you just get ahead of your opponent, you win. Banefire has won pretty much every game. Nexus didn't, as I said, Nexus doesn't really come into play in a big way, but it does help you to. I think the first game we played, Nexus basically won us because we got to attack twice. Krasis, just fantastic. Gift of Paradise, you know, the usual stuff. Give it a go. Let me know what you think. I think this deck list is posted somewhere. I posted it on, I think I posted on MTG Goldfish, but you know, it gets lost in the ether. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on the deck. And there'll be plenty more to come in the near future. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like and subscribe for future videos. And I'll see you guys in the next video.